What's up, guys? So today we have a trash start as always. Looks like a trash start for me and Pleb. Maybe Lightning too. He's moving. I have been meaning to get better at looking over at the other people. It's nice that Pleb is so close to me for this video's sake. But I apologize to Lightning for not looking over at his escapades more often. So I settled here. There's a few adjacent hills. Hills are important in teamers and duels because you don't grow to them. And then here I'm gonna try to zone that Inca warrior from going across the river. I got it. So he could technically escape to the left. I didn't really notice that. But neither did he apparently, so might be able to first move slam it, and there it goes. So a lot of times in teamers, monument and then worker is the way to go. In free-for-all, I don't really like building a worker quite that early because of barbs, and really like other players should harass each other enough to prevent a lot of the early improvements. But in teamers and 2v2s and duels, workers tend to be pretty safe, and then monuments tend to be pretty important for liberty, or in this case, honor. And then right now I'm working the gem hill for gold, so I can buy the gem jungle. It seems a little backward since I paid gold to buy the tile, but it'll get my worker out like a turn or two earlier, and later on I'm going to need gold. And plus, like, while I'm growing, I would really like to work that 2 food 3 gold tile, and then for later on I want to buy a tile next to Inca to Great General him. Gold is especially important in teamers or duels, just to support your army. And then even scouts and harassment units are also really important. If you can, if they don't build any scouts and you build 4, well, they can't improve tiles, they can't, settle settlements, they can't do anything without your permission, basically. So then also in teamers, it being, basically a duel with like multiple people, it doesn't matter quite as much sacrificing the early hammers for units. It just forces them to basically do the same. But that early worker chopping forests and improving stuff that needs to be is really nice, especially in teamers. They're easy to protect. You put that great general in a pretty bad place. I'm letting that warrior just kind of sit there and take slinger damage. If it was an archer, I probably wouldn't, but I don't particularly value slingers, which I'll get onto in a little bit. But I actually didn't also mean to move that scout 2 tiles within the capital. I wasn't really paying too terribly close attention. But the reason I'm not a huge fan of slingers, or I don't really see them as a threat, is that for defending, they're pretty abysmal. I mean, like in this case right here, if I tried to attack that slinger with my warrior, it would be very bad if it backed up onto the forest. But I would never do that. But if they're attacking, if they're the aggressor, um, and that you stick slingers in the front, well, it's like you kind of want to get rid of their ranged units with an invading force, especially weaker slingers, even weaker than archers. You can kill them easier with like 2 hits, but you know, if it absorbs your attack, you just like wasted an entire movement, a turn, an attack, and now that unit can just get wailed on by like, you know, ranged units in the back or melee units behind the slingers or any of that stuff. So, you know, and then slingers can't escort workers, settlers, great generals. You know, even standing on a citadel is risky for a slinger. You know, someone could just move onto it and it backs up, and you get free reign on that tile. Another thing I meant to talk about was when building settlers, you don't lose food, so you can work hills without repercussions. And in general, you do get some food for, production for working food tiles while building a settler, but it's not as much. It's a little less than 50%. I don't exactly know how they calculate it, because sometimes it seems like if you work 3 2 food 1 hammer tiles, that's beneficial compared to working 3 hills. But in general, working 3 hills is better than working 3 2 food 1 hammer tiles. And you don't starve. Just remember to switch it back after you're done. I almost forgot to do that this game. And yeah, so him pushing in archers over here, I probably could have done this slightly better, but I was worried about my great general a little bit, especially if Inca pushed forward. So, and then Assyria, is that who they are? Them not having a scout there, I felt pretty safe that even if the scout dies, the great general won't. And I really want to build on that horse tile, and then buy the gym tile. Settling on top of horses is the equivalent, or horse plains, is the same as building on a hill minus the defense. And then you get the horses also, so that's nice, especially in modes like this. And trading that scout for 2 archers is pretty good. Got the city in there. Bloop. I really should have bought that gym hill tile right as I built the city, because it's really important. It threatening his citadel and even it being one of his luxuries, and a gold tile. If he managed to fight me off or something, it's nice to take that away. But I ended up getting it anyway, so that's okay. Now I just gotta heal all my units and get a few gifts from Mr. Pleb, and just gotta wait a couple turns and then see what happens. It's funny when they just like fortify a unit there. It's kind of good for his unit if it was going to have enough time to heal. You know, getting like more experience and upgrade or something. Hey, look, King Solomon's mine. But is good, of course. But I mean, when it's not going to have enough time to heal by the time I push forward. That's probably bad. So my plan here is to get my great general either next to his city, that would probably be better, or next to the river. Really, either way, it doesn't particularly matter. Next to the city would be better, of course, but I don't think at this point that there's really any recovery. Building walls is a good thing, but I mean, this early, he could have built, 2 more slingers or something, or warriors or a spear, anything to help fight me off, try to kill my general. And there goes Shoshone, another quitter. Bloop. And that's why slingers aren't so great. And that's all she wrote. Me getting both of those citadels and possibly pushing that archer back will be the end. But I would like to thank Pleb and Lightning for playing with me on this 3v3, and I hope y'all found this interesting and enjoyable and learned that slingers can't defend great general tiles or, other fancy things. But as always, like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think about the audio, video, the speed, anything that comes to mind. And as always, have fun, but not too much fun.